Welcome to Camp.Grill.Eat. I'm Angie, and today we're making a mini chocolate chip skillet cookie. If you've never made a skillet cookie, it's just like what it sounds like. It goes in your little cast iron skillet, and I never thought that I would love my little 6-inch cast iron skillet as much as I do, but I use it for so much stuff. I make dips for like beer cheese, which are great over the campfire or on the grill. And you can make baked brie in it. It's great for toasting seeds and of course to make your own little cookie for two. So I love chocolate chip cookies, and so I have no self-control around chocolate chip cookies. So having a small batch that just fits into my skillet is perfect for me, but it's also a great dessert if you just want to share it with one other person. So Valentine's Day is coming up. It's nice for that. If you just want a nice grilled dessert, it's easy enough that you could make it while camping and cook it on your grill. It just uses everyday ingredients: sugar, flour, egg. You don't need a mixer. You just need a bowl and a way to melt your butter. And then we cook it on indirect heat over a grill. But if you are at home and you don't want to fire up the grill, you 100% could also do this in your oven. Anyways, let's put it together. For this skillet cookie, we're going to start with 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. If you only have salted butter at home, you don't have to go and buy unsalted. Just don't add salt later in the recipe. So to that, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and mix that up. I like the combination of the brown and granulated. The molasses in the brown sugar just adds a richer flavor than just using plain granulated sugar. So I think it's totally worth it. So mix that up, and then you're going to add in 1 egg yolk, just for some richness, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And then you're going to mix that up as well. So meanwhile, we do have the grill preheating to about 350 degrees set up for indirect heat. So I'm gonna have a burner on either side of the skillet. That's ideal if you can do it. If your grill doesn't allow for that, you can rotate your skillet partway through cooking, just for the most even heat distribution. So get that all nice and smooth. Then we're going to add in 1/2 cup of flour, and then 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So baking soda, salt, and this all comes together so quick and easy. Like, it literally takes about 5 minutes to put it all together in the skillet, pop it on the grill, and it's gonna cook for about 20 minutes. So really, in less than half an hour, you can have your own freshly baked chocolate chip cookie for two. All right, so you just wanna mix that up, and it will be quite thick, but that's okay. We're gonna press it into the skillet once we get the chocolate chips in there. Just get it all incorporated. And then once you have a dough, you're gonna add in 1/3 cup of chocolate chips, and we're just gonna fold them in just so they're evenly dispersed throughout the dough. I really like chocolate chips, so there's a lot in here. If you want less, you could have less, but I mean, it's a chocolate chip cookie, so go big or go home, I guess. Okay, so you can see we have a nice smooth dough. Chocolate chips are kind of evenly dispersed. Now we're gonna take our little 6-inch cast iron skillet. I have coated it with butter. It's kind of hard to see, but I did rub it down with butter, which is always a good idea when you're doing anything in your skillet on the grill. So yeah, you can just dump it in there. And all you're gonna do is just sort of press it into an even layer in the skillet. So that's really all there is to it. And then we will go and stick it on the grill and let it cook for about 20 minutes. Okay, so our cookie has been cooking for about 20 minutes, and you can see we've got the heat on either side of the skillet. You can see it's puffed, sort of puffed in the center. A little bit hard to see, but puffed in the center and the edges are starting to turn golden brown. This is pretty much perfect, so we're gonna pull it off and let it cool down for about 10 minutes before we give it a try. Okay, moment of truth for our mini skillet cookie. So I let it cool down just about 10 minutes, basically long enough so that I can handle the skillet. It's still pretty warm, but I can touch it. So yeah, you just don't want it to still be molten when you dive into it, but obviously there's nothing better than like a warm chocolate chip cookie. So you can top this with some chocolate syrup or whipped cream if you want to get fancy, or you can just dive into the cookie as it is. So we'll give it a try. So you're going for is nice crispy edges with like a super soft, chewy center. And this has tons of chocolate chips. It's very gooey and rich. It looks perfect. Definitely my kind of chocolate chip cookie. Lots of chocolate, soft and chewy in the center, a little bit crispy on the edge. It's perfect. Perfect for two, great for camping, grilling, date night, you name it. Easy enough to make in half an hour. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoy.